Welcome back to Sunrise. So before the break, we were talking about home ownership versus vehicle ownership, right? In Money Masterclass with Carlton. Now we're stepping into the Sunrise Insurance Lounge, a brand new segment set to delve into the world of insurance.
I like it.
Don't worry about it. It won't be overwhelming like some people think. It's real talk for real people. So with our friends from BCIC, joining us this morning is branch supervisor at British Caribbean Insurance Company Limited, BCIC, Meshage Ruddock. Welcome to Sunrise.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great, thank you. Good morning.
Awesome.
Good
You come at a great time. It's the beginning of June. We know June 1 is the start
of hurricane
season. So it's running right down to the end of the year, pretty much.
October, November.
Help us understand why home insurance is something that it's so critical. You know, you'll hear things and then you'll hear a news story here and then we'll say, the house was not insured. And then you're like, oh God, why is it so important?
I mean, my take on it is that insurance on a whole is necessary if you're in the business of creating wealth. Certainly, insurance provides that peace of mind. That's ideally what it does. So once it is that whether you own the home, you rent the home, you're catching in the home, preferably own or rent,
Right.
it is encouraged that you protect the asset, whether it is the actual block and steel and or the things inside of it.
Mesha, how do I know what home insurance is right for me? It's my first home. What if I have a townhome versus an apartment versus my big mansion? You know what I mean? Speaking it into being, how do I know?
I mean, certainly, standardly, the policy covers the building primarily and or the things inside of it, such as the content and or your all-risk items like your watch, your phone, etc. So it doesn't really matter if it's large, small,
Okay,
right? It's really just about the construction that it's rated and how we price it. But at the same time, whatever it is you come with as a building and a home, we'll definitely cover you.
One of the things that I'm always curious about is that from where you sit at BCIC, you assess threats very differently than someone else who's not a trained eye or seasoned. You guys know this is what you do every day. When you look at the threats to a home, what are the things that you are looking at? Because I think maybe, hurricane season, but there are other things to think about.
Certainly. So I mentioned the construction. So what it is that the property is made up of, the location, where it is situated. You have some areas that are more flood prone versus not. What it is, so you mentioned a townhouse in terms of are the buildings connected or not, like an apartment, how is there shared walls. So there are different risk factors that we look at when pricing.
Because somebody else's liability can be now transferred to me.
Certainly.
And we're talking heavily about, it's a hurricane season and hurricane insurance and things like that, but there are other things. So like, do I get protection from, say, suppose I'm robbed or suppose, you know what I mean? What else is there as well?
So that's a benefit, I should say. Your home policy, once you take it out with us, it extends to cover you for things like if you're held up and you lose your money, and or if it is that, you happen to lose, like your content is damaged. Certainly the policy extends to cover things like that. Alternate accommodation, God forbid the catastrophe comes and you're wiped out and you need somewhere to stay, the policy will step in place for that. Your fridge, if it is that the electricity goes and your items in the refrigerator are damaged, your policy will cover you for that. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, there are times when we have a major surge and like, all my appliances mash up. I have a friend who went away for a couple of months and then he came back. Days before he came back, he got a call. I think your house is flooded out, and it was a case in which he bought an appliance, and something went wrong with the pump, and the entire house was flooded, affecting not just that appliance but everything else. I mean, if the house is insured by BCIC, does he have anything that he can?
Certainly, what we would look at is we encourage you not just to insure your building, but also your content, because the things inside are valuable. So things like flooding, if there's a burst pipe, and like you said, if there happens to be, it depends, of course, certainly on the approximate cost, right? But essentially, you want to be covered. So we encourage you to insure.
Meshage, when you say insure the building, so it's not that I need hurricane insurance and then a different policy for flood insurance and then a different policy
No,
for
my dear.
fire insurance. Or
No,
it's just once you are covered for covering the building, it covers
It
those
covers
things.
these things.
Awesome.
Certainly, all of what I mentioned before, it is covered.
Talk to me about the experience, because I want to know that if somebody is coming to BCIC and them say, look here, I saw this girl named Meshage on CVM.
It's pretty girl. She did pretty and nice. Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that I am going through, maybe I'm trying to get a mortgage right now, and the property is going to need to be insured.
Right.
So help me out. I don't know what I'm doing. How is BCIC going to give them a good experience
What's the
and take their
process
hand
like? Yeah.
and know, say, look here, I don't know nothing about them, so here.
Yeah.
Guide me and give me the best policy, not necessarily for BCI, for me.
Oh, certainly.
About that.
I mean, I personally value myself as someone who will hold your hand and walk you through it. BCIC is that experience as well. We're here to educate, to also assist you in choosing the right product for you.
Right.
Certainly, when you're going into home ownership and mortgage, you know, most entities tend to have affiliation with an insurance company
Yes.
to get you covered for their interest, you know, their portion of what they're loaning you. But I tend to encourage new homeowners also to look at the things inside the home. That's something, like I said, that people tend to just not insure
Right.
simply because, oh, the building is covered. But again, my clothing, my shoes, my stove, my television, those things are valuable to me as well, and they cost a lot to replace.
What
So,
about price point?
Yeah.
price point?
Is it
Of value?
No, not, sorry. Is it affordable?
Certainly, we have had changes in rates over the past couple of years, but we do our best to make it affordable because at BCIC we have payment plans. So we make it affordable for you, where we split the payment over whatever it is your range is, you know, 4 up to 11 months to make it easy for you to pay.
Mesha, 2 quick questions.
Sure.
Is it that, do I personally need to come and say, okay, for me to qualify for this insurance or whatever, I need to have a certain amount of money in the bank and all these things, or is it based mainly on the value of the property that I am insuring?
Certainly based on the value of the property that you're looking to insure and also any history of insurance that you do have. Those are some things that we look at.
And then last thing, real quick, I'm visual. So I'm walking into BCIC. What's the process? So step 1 would be to meet with somebody. Step 2, do I need to bring paperwork? Do I need to, what's the general process of how it works?
So there are some general requirements. I mean, we need certainly details around the property, location, etc. If you have a valuation report, that would also be helpful. It's important that you look at the replacement cost because that is what insurance used to calculate the premium or the value that you'd pay for the price. So yeah, your documentation, the regular ID, TRN, and yeah.
About how long does it take? Is that long?
Pretty
process?
quick. It's pretty in and
Really?
out. You can also do it online on our website. Yeah,
Really?
BCIC
So tell
online.
us, BCIC online, how do you?
Right, you go to bciconline.com and you will have the option to purchase insurance there. Or
Okay.
you call us at
like it.
922-1260 and we'll definitely be willing to help.
I like it.
Sounds great. Sounds
like
great.
it.
Finally, then, for the person who is really considering, having listened to this conversation, you've sold them.
Yes.
So if you can now wave a magic BCIC wand and remove one misconception that's out there, what would you do?
I mean, I would
pick
say,
one.
yeah, I would say, I mean, I know people tend to think that, oh, insurance is the thing that is here to take your money and it's a scam. We hear that a lot. But at the beginning of the segment, I did say if you're in the business of building wealth, it is necessary to have insurance. It provides you that peace of mind. BCIC is that company that pays claims. So we are definitely going to be by your side when this catastrophe comes, you know?
You know, it is better to have it and not need it
100%.
than when you need it, you don't have it.
There we
word.
go, Dennis. I love that one. I love that
You know
one.
what I mean? Meshage Ruddock is the branch supervisor at BCIC. And can I tell you, she's really good at her job. Talk to her today. The news is up after the break. Stay tuned.
News?